We are And Academy. We are an online design upskilling school launched by Indian Institute of Art and Design (IIAD), which is based in New Delhi, and it's a leading design school established in collaboration with Kingston School of Art and Design, and they have recently transitioned into the University of Design, Innovation, and Technology. And Backed by the by a almost a decade of experience in design education, we offer professional design courses for graduates and working professionals and even beginners from varied backgrounds. And we run part-time courses across UI, UX, GD, and interior design, uh, with pathways running roughly through 3 to 14 months, depending on the kind of depth you choose and where you want to start. Uh, Moving on, why people choose An Academy and why we have like over 1,500 learners who have chosen An Academy. We try to blend the convenience of online education with with the effectiveness of offline. So we get you the studio energy, collaborating, critiquing, sharing ideas, but without the need to, commute or relocate. So also we are niche backed by IIAD, again, a leading design uh, institution which has been in the design education for more than a decade now, and that partnership has sort of given us a strong foundation, academic foundation and creative legacy to move into the design education sector. And we are proud of that connection because it means that our programs are built on that same principle of design thinking and, rigorous studio learning that IID is again known for. Um, all our courses are industry relevant, so you uh, learn with like how actually design teams actually use in the field and not outdated theory. So you'll work on real world projects, get mentorship from industry experts and peer feedback. And you also graduate with a market ready portfolio that our mentors again help you to build. So and when someone mentions online courses, online education, the first image that comes into your mind is like boring pre-recorded classes, but this is not what happens at end. Our sessions are totally live, interactive, and collaborative in a sense that you are learning with your peers, you're brainstorming ideas. So we have a small cohort and large cohort. So even like you are distributed in groups and you are critiquing and you are co-creating and you are working on projects, so you get that whole um, design team environment. You'll exchange ideas, you'll get hands-on experience, uh, and you learn how to think like a designer and not just use design tools. Mentorship is another key pillar, and our mentors are not just instructors, they are creative practitioners who have been in the industry for a lot of time. They are art directors, we have creative strategists from the industry. So, what they bring to the table is real brief, real processes, and real challenges into, how every class, every module goes. So you will work on lifestyle projects. You'll get direct feedback from the mentors, and you'll build a portfolio that's professional and not just academic. And when you are just ready to take the next leap, our career support team also gives you all the guidance that you need to land a job or start your own practice through portfolio reviews, interviews, mentorship sessions, and even placement opportunities. So we have a lot of companies coming in for hiring designers. So you get uh, access to all the job pool. uh, and we also offer job guarantee on some of our courses. um, and here's what the journey has been like. For the last 3 years now, we've helped transform over 500 careers, and we have over 1,500 plus learners who have been mentored by over 50 plus industry experts. We've also built a community of 65K design enthusiasts who share inspiration, their student work project they have created through our courses. You might want to check it out. It's and _academy. We've also built over 200 plus industry connections, and we maintain a 4.46 Google rating. And yeah, so behind every number that you see on the screen, is someone who has decided to grow creatively and design a better future for themselves. All right. Moving on to why we are here today. Kaleidoscope is a series where we invite design leaders and creative practitioners to lead a masterclass like this one. These sessions are designed to basically spark ideas and share real world insights, and show how design thinking can shape your career and your entire life. So before we start, a few quick checks. You can use the chat box to engage and share your thoughts. And we'll have a dedicated Q&A session towards the end, so you can drop your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll take them up systematically. uh, Moving on, our speaker for today is Tushar Singh. He's the founder and creative director at Orange Tribe. It's a brand strategy and design studio working with first FMCG brands. His work blends brand strategy with strong visual storytelling, and he's known for breaking down packaging designs into clear, usable frameworks. And he also has a growing community of over 40K designers on his Instagram, where he shares packaging design and brand building insights. So, if you ever wondered why one product feels premium and one pack stands out instantly, so or even how packaging becomes a real business deal breaker, you are in the right place. Welcome, Tushar. Over to you. Um, I think it's an internet connection issue. He'll be right back. Yup. Hi, Tushar. Hi.
Yeah,
Welcome, Tushar. Over to you.
thank you. All right, so there might be some trouble with internet, but all right, before we start, I would like to have a quick check, and before that, I'll just give another quick intro. I'm just a designer. Everything else that I've been doing is because I have love for design, and there is more to solve in India, right? And packaging is one of the things that I really want to understand. It's been almost 10 years in this industry. And moving ahead, I would like to solve this problem, and that is why all of us are here today. So I can share my knowledge, share my experience so far. And before that, I would like to understand how many of you have just started into design, what you are doing right now, so I can understand the level of design education you already have. So this can be more valuable to all of you. You can use the chat box to tell me how long have you been into design. It can be just a hobby, it can be a professional career, anything. So I'm looking at the chat box. You guys can respond with the time. You can write a number, your year, anything. 2 years as a professional, 2 years. Great. I have just started a month back to explore my passion. That's great. All right, guys. Just drop how long have you been into design. Started with my freelancing journey as a brand designer and packaging designer. Great. I'm civil engineer. Now I want to switch to design field. That's great. Have been in design from 2021, but transitioned into graphic design 2 years back. All right. So we have people from the spectrum of time. Somebody has just started, somebody is planning to start. So we'll try to keep the conversation very basic, no jargons, no complicated words. So even if you are coming from a design background, or if you are somebody who just want to start, right, it becomes valuable to you. I've done my graphic design and also second and 2D and 3D animator from Arena before 17 years. All right. I have pretty much got it that we have people who are working as a professional and people who want to start as a graphic designer. Most of us who have switched to design, we never initially planned to be a designer. Most of us, like I've been in the industry and whoever I talk to, they tell me they were engineers, somebody was doing MBA, somebody was doing something. So most of us start into design because of our passion towards the design, right? Now, I would like to ask your opinion or your funda why design is required, or what is the purpose of design in general, any sort of design. Again, you can use the chat box and you can answer: making lives easier, to solve problem solving, to communicate, problem solving visually, pretty much there only, right? So design again is a communication, right? But this is the communication that makes things interesting, that makes things easier. So I'll give you a very small example, a very basic example. You might all have been through national highways of India, right? And while passing through the signages, you will see certain icons, right? That is also a form of design only. It is very functional because we cannot read at certain speed, 80 kilometer per hour or 120 kilometer per hour. It is design that is helping us navigate through the lanes, navigate through our way. Where's the petrol pump? You will see a small icon of the petrol pump, right? And that is how design is a part of our life, everyday life. We might not notice it, we might not observe it, but design is everywhere. From your lift, showing an icon going up or down, that is also a part of design only, right? Design is everywhere. Now it is up to us which design we find interesting as per our liking, and we feel we can use it and bring a new perspective to it. And that is where you become a designer, a graphic designer, a web designer, an architect, a fashion designer. Because what is already there, you want to bring your perspective to it, right? And that is where you don't have to be just another designer. Your aspiration, where you are just starting, or whether you have been in the industry for the last 10 years, your aspiration should be to solve a problem with your approach, with your own perspective. Now, I'll come to another term that is very common: creativity, right? We will be always being told by our, let's say, if we are working, our manager will tell us, do something creative. Client will tell us, do something creative. We ourselves also we want to do something creative. What does it mean to be creative? Is it coming up with too many colors? Is it coming up with something that looks very appealing? What is creativity to you? I would like everybody to put your answer in the chat and I'll go through everyone's reply. What is creativity according to you? Anything, whatever you feel like. If you feel using colors is creativity, or doing something unique is creativity, whatever your perspective about creativity is, just share it. To make it look visually appealing, There's no right or wrong meaning to creativity. Our, our way of solving problem approaches differ. All right, okay. Yeah, approaches differ, outcome as well, but problem solved. Question mark. Functionality, problem solving, solving a problem in a meaningful and effective way, making things easy as well as engaging or interesting. All right. Anyone else? And again, there's no right or wrong answer to it. Obviously, I can bring my perspective as well. Okay. I mean, all the answers that you have shared are part of a philosophy only, right? Creativity is having your own perspective towards something. For example, there's a tree, right? Now, if a poet might see that tree, he will explain, is everybody comfortable with Hindi as well? Just drop no if you're not comfortable. If you're comfortable, just leave it.
I think we have a mix of people
All right,
here.
that's all right. That's all right. Let's say there's a tree, right, in the mid of the garden. There's no other tree around it. Now, a poet might think that the tree is standing alone. He might write a whole book around it because he has his own perspective about the tree, right? And when he describes it in his own view with his own perspective, people find it very creative. People find it very amazing. At the same time, when a painter might see this particular tree, he might draw it in a way that the tree is standing alone, the light is reflecting on the leaves, there's a bird sitting on the tree. That's his own perspective of looking at the tree, right? At the same time, if an architect will see it, he might think if there's only one thing at the center, it will be in the focus. We don't have to create too many towers. Let's just build one tower at the center of an empty space. Again, people might say this is very creative how he came up with it. So, creativity at the end of your own perspective, having a unique perspective to look at something. If it solves a problem, it is a good thing. Creativity isn't meant to solve a problem. Creativity is all about you having a different perspective, having a different lens to see anything around your life, right? Now you'll see ki, there are tons of rappers, right? How they describe their life in the slums, in gullies, is very different from how a documentary is being communicated. How a newspaper might report a news, it is very different from the perspective of a singer, right? That is why we like certain songs. कि, okay, Talvinder has a different way of talking about love or talking about yourself. At the same time, a different singer, Anup Jan, might have a very different perspective about it, right? We like both of them. We find it very interesting. We find them very creative because they have written something. Again, it's just a perspective of them looking at the same thing. That is, that also applies to design. Now, when you look at anything around you that is design related, it can be a hoarding, it can be a marketing material, or it can be anything, right? When you see a new perspective, you find it very interesting. Everybody will stop, look at it. But if it is being done again and again, all the brands start doing the same thing. Nobody cares about it because now it is not creative. So, what's the conclusion? The conclusion is this only, that having a different, having a lens, your own lens to look at something, to observe something, is creativity. These are certain fundamentals. Even if we are not a designer, we should always use in our lives, and that is where you will have a spark. If you are designing something, it won't be another social media post, it won't be another logo design, it won't be another packaging design, but it will be something maybe very similar to others, but with a slight difference, with something done very differently. And that is where you become a better designer, you become a better person. When we will usually think about design as certain colors, typography, fonts, right? Elements, illustration, imagery, all of this. These are just tools, these are just elements. But design at the end is what you want to communicate and how you want to communicate. That is it. And whatever field you might go in through design, let's say if you enroll in certain course of and academy promotion b, right? So if you enroll in graphic design, whether UI, UX, or any other design, right? These fundamentals will stay the same. It will remain the same. Nothing changes. So now people who are just starting, who want to be a graphic designer, or people who have been in the industry but they find their work to be very repetitive, nothing interesting, start using real life fundas, start using these fundamentals in your work, and you'll see it will start changing, right? Now we'll come to the topic of packaging design because that is something I want to discuss. Again, I'll keep it very simple, so if you have not been into design, you still understand the fundamentals of packaging design. Why packaging design? Because this is something that I always see with a different lens. When it comes to branding and packaging, I always have a different perspective. I get very excited about it. Okay, how to design this box? How can we do something with this box so it looks different, it looks unique, it looks amazing, right? Everybody is doing packaging design. That's great. But I also have an opinion. I have a perspective. Let me bring it to life, right? And if you mix it with little bit of understanding of design fundamentals, the market fundamentals, because everything is supposed to be consumed by someone. That is where design becomes a medium that goes beyond just you. You have to understand who is it that is going to consume whatever communication that you're creating, who will experience it, who will go through it, right? So now there are two different sides of the same coin. One, what you want to bring. Second, what do you want to solve and who is it that you want to solve for, right? I mean, let's say if you design a logo, you find it very creative, but it does not happen to do the job, right? It is not doing the job. Do you think it is the good outcome or is it the bad outcome? Just say good or bad. You created something, let's say logo, poster, painting, anything. Not painting. Painting is very personal, but design. Design is mix of art plus solution, right? There are certain aspects that overlap, should solve the purpose at first. Obviously, because it is supposed to do the job, right? Again, so now it is not only about you when you are solving a problem. Let's say you are in architecture. You design one of the greatest building of all time according to you only. But people cannot live there. It is not functional. It is not environment friendly. It consumes a lot of electricity. There's always certain issues with weather, right? It is a bad product. It is a bad solution. So that is where we'll understand today that what are the limitations that we should have when it comes to design in general and packaging design specifically. What are certain boundaries that we need to adopt? What are certain rules that we need to follow? And where we can be expressive and creative. And that is why I have a quick deck with me that I'll walk you through it. Again, I do not have a particular funda that I'll give you and you will become a better designer. It is just the basic fundas. If you can clear today those fundas, again, I have shared this deck with multiple people. I'll share it with you as well. It does not have a magical thing, but if you'll just think about it, the approach, you will have a different perspective about it. All right, if my screen is visible, everybody will say yes. Is it visible? I'm checking the chat now.
Yep.
Yes. All right. Great. So today we'll understand more about the packaging design, and then I have few packaging tips that I'll share with you. The very first thing, why packaging matters. All right. Now
Uh,
this is a very now
it's
this is a
visible.
very basic question, and anybody can answer. Even my mother can also answer because she also buys product based on packaging. Why do you think packaging matters? It can be just a one word answer as well. For a brand to communicate their product in the, to stand out in sales, connect emotionally, brand differentiation, it communicates. You pick product based on look and feel and communication. Attract consumers to grab attention, to buy the right thing at right price. First thing we see or relate. It can be salesperson without a physical salesperson. I like this answer. First impression, build trust, packaging is very important. All of that. So I'll get back to the deck. And if you have any questions or queries, just save it for later. We'll just go through all the questions after this deck is done. So packaging help us navigate, choose, and purchase, right? It might seem a little complicated, but I'll explain. Let's say you want to buy a product. What the product can be? Let's say your mother has asked you to get the moong dal, normal जो घर पे पकाते, right? Get the moong dal from the market. What is the first thing that this packaging should be helping you with is navigate कि मूंग दाल कहाँ पे है. अभी क्या है, पुराने टाइम में क्या होता था, you will have just everything in loose so you can see and buy, but now everything comes in a package. First rule, first thing a packaging should do is help you navigate that, okay, I'm moong dal, I'm sitting here, just pick me up. Now, when you go to the pulses section, the dal section, now there are three or four brands selling the same product. Everybody is selling the moong dal. Now, your mother might have asked for certain specific dal that it has to be polished, it has to be non-polished, it has to be organic, right? So that is where packaging, what is the second thing that a packaging helps you with is choose the product. Pick the right product for you. And last but not least, purchase it. Right. Three-step process. Now, most of you might like Diet Coke, right? You are young and it is trending as well. Or it can be Diet Coke, it can be Red Bull or anything. What is the first thing that you look at certain product? Although these are very popular products, but let's say you are at railway station, right? Your train has stopped for 2 minutes. You want to buy peanut. You will rush towards the shop You will quickly scan where is the peanut, where is the peanut, where is the peanut. Then you will find the peanut. Then you want masala peanut, not the salted peanut. You will find where is the masala peanut and then you will buy. Isn't it so? Right? So first you navigated through different products. Second is it help you choose a particular product and then make you purchase it. That is why most of the brand put the price point 5 rupees, 10 rupees at the front of the pack. So it becomes easier because again, we have to pay certain amount to buy the product. So now let's understand it with more products. Abhi, you all have to answer when I share the screen and I'll ask you a question. The question is you have to help me find a spicy snack. I want to have something spicy. I was feeling sick. I had tablets. Now I want to eat something spicy. Now, drop your comment. Which product should I eat? Color and the brand name. Drop it in the chat. Color and the brand name. So I can exactly know which product are you referring to.
Okay, so people are saying red brand name Doritos, red Doritos, red Doritos, purple Doritos. Everyone is going for Doritos. Even I was almost
Red and Doritos.
yeah, red Doritos.
Yes. Right. Again, what you did is the same thing that we understood earlier. You navigated through all the products. Quickly, you understood red means spicy. And again, you are familiar with Doritos, the brand. So you know, and then also the memory recall, right? You have memory of the product that this one is spicy, right? Now, what helped you find this product? One was the brand itself, that Doritos is clearly visible. Second is the color. You did not see whether it is a snack or not, right? Because it is a good packaging. You don't have to look at the product every time because nobody looks at the product again and again. When you want to have a masala chips, you will go to the shop, you will navigate through the products, blue lace, blue lace, blue lace, and eventually find they are blue lace. That is how packaging works, right? Nobody is looking at the product. Okay, this packaging is good. It is very creative. It is no, that's bullshit. Consumer, when we buy a certain product, when we are consumers or other consumers in general, they don't give a damn about your product packaging design. They just want your packaging to do the job. That is navigate, choose, purchase. That is it. Now, we'll do this thing again. You have to answer again. The same question. Help me find a spicy snack. Now, we have three options. Just have a look. Then tell me which one is the most spicy. मतलब एकदम खा के तीखा ही लग जाना चाहिए. Again, you can
First
drop your
one,
answer in the chat.
spicy mean red color lays, red lays,
All
lace,
of them are red only, so you can just mention what
sizzling hot lays.
sizzling hot lays.
Yeah.
Lays.
I think for me, the first one.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, you see, when a few products had red color, you thought red is the spicy one. Now, every product have red color. Now, what you did, you again scanned the product because sizzling hot lays has it has a chili, right? Some chilies around it. While Gopal wafers has a tomato, even Pringle has just the chips and some design. If I ask you which one do you think is the most creative design? Now you don't have to think about spicy, but in terms of design, packaging design, which one do you think looks good to you? You don't have to think about what others are answering, but according to you, which one do you think is better in terms of packaging design? Packaging also comes
People,
with it includes the pouch and the shape of the container as well. So you have to consider the design and the container.
People are saying Pringles, the middle one again, the Pringles. Pringles.
Pringles.
Uh,
Now you see, creativity is not relevant. If you are doing a very creative thing, you have come up with the most creative solution ever. But your job was to create a packaging that should look spicy. I'm not saying that Pringle has designed a spicy pack and it failed. But if we have to pick a spicy product, then even if you come up with a very creative design, is useless. It has to do the communication, but at the same time, it has to look creative, right? Now, having your own perspective towards creativity is very different. It can be very, for example, Lay's has put some fire, chili, and everything. There's one more brand that I'll show you if I can locate it here. Just give me a moment. I'll show you how they have demonstrated the same thing. Only if I can find it. Sorry, guys. It'll take 1 or 2 minutes. Okay, it's this. All right. I might find it. I might not find it. Sorry for that. So I cannot find it, but I'll explain it to you. But I'll make sure I'll share the packaging name after the call. So what they had done is they had Mexican chips, and in that Mexican chips there were no chili, nothing, but a guy sitting on chair with different expressions. So the normal spicy one, he was like, it's good. But the hottest one, he was like, you see, now again, this is again creative, right? Because they have a different perspective to communicate the same thing. Now, creativity is when it is used with the considering what it is for, you can always come up with a better approach. Your design can look a lot good. It will look a lot better than what is already being done because you have used a different perspective to communicate the same thing. Now, let's say it is a spicy product that you have to design, right? Chili is one thing. What else can you think of if we put it on the pack? It would look creative, but at the same time, it will communicate that it is a spicy product. What can you think of? Anything? Fire. You guys can comment. Anything?
Flame, fire, chilies.
Yes.
Tushar, I think your own screen is sharing the video slide. So yeah, it might.
Angry bird with fire. Interesting.
Orange
Orange
emoji.
emoji. Emoji can be used. Yeah, that's great. Skull
Color.
character. Volcano, great. Volcano with different color of the lava. The lava is green, it is normal. The lava is yellow, it is salted. The lava is red, it is super hot. Awesome.
Fire extinguisher.
Fire extinguisher. How is that so? Like I'm a little confused, but again, I believe you are a creative person. So there must be something. All
Yeah,
right.
that's
Anyone
fun.
else? Anything? I like the angry bird and lava, the
Mm.
volcano idea. I mean, I can use it. I can steal your idea. All right, chilies. See, chili is very common. Chili is very common. Everybody is using flame chili. That is, done repetitively. So if you really put lava, let's say there is this volcano erupting and there are chips coming out of it. There's the color of the lava in the background, right? It would be amazing packaging. Now it is just a question of execution. How do you execute it? Do you put illustration? Do you put imagery? Do you use AI or anything? The guy or the person who has answered volcano, Om Pandey, I would suggest you create a packaging with the help of AI of this idea. Just do it. Even the Angry Bird with fire. Angry Bird had colors, right? Obviously, you will get a copyright issue. But again, so now you see, if you understand what you are solving for, that becomes your boundary. That product should communicate that it is a spicy product. That is the ground rule. That becomes the boundary. But how you want to communicate the level of spice, there you can be creative. But you don't have to be creative in terms of ki the product is not looking spicy, but you have come up with a great example, right? That should not happen. Can you hear me? I think the network is again
Your
fluctuating.
voice was breaking in the middle, but now it's fine, I guess.
Is it better now?
Yeah,
Yes. Do let me know if I'm not audible properly. It can be internet. It can be an internet issue.
yeah.
All right. I'll get back to the deck. Can you see my screen?
Yup, we can.
All right. So now we'll move ahead. Three things what a good packaging have. Here we understood why packaging design matters. Now we are going to the next level, what a good packaging design should have. There are only three things that a packaging should have, not more than three, not less than three. The brands who only follow two, let me first explain what are these three things. Who, that means who is selling the product. You see here, who is selling the product? Pingles is selling the product. Gopal Wafers is selling the product. Lay's is selling the product. Second is what. Your packaging should tell what is the product. You exactly know. Chips, chips, chips. No confusion. Here as well, you can see pasta, snack, something, something. Imagery is on top of the product, right? Either you can put imagery or you can write it, depending on what your consumer wants, what they're looking for. Are they scanning the product through imagery or they are also putting some effort and reading the text? If that happens, you can put the chips rather than putting an image. But as per the human behavior, we consume imagery more than the text. It is easier to identify through imagery rather than reading it. So second thing becomes what. Third is why. Why should I buy this product? Now you might not find why in these products. Lay's sizzling hot. Lay's is selling sizzling hot product, sizzling hot chips. Right. Third point is not being mentioned here. It is being communicated through the imagery. Why should I buy this product? Because it is spicy. Pringles may there's nothing. It is just Pringles original tomato munchies. Now, so why is not being put here in any of the product, right? Most of the brands used to only put two information: Haldiram Bhujia. That is it. Bikaji Bhujia. There was no why listed initially. यहाँ पे थोड़ा सा boring information दूंगा useful. You see, when we started buying from brands, initially it was just that we can get the product. We want a bread. आटा bread चाहिए 100% आटा wheat bread चाहिए या फिर मैदा zero मैदा bread चाहिए. It was not the concern initially in 90s or 80s, right? When the this all this branding part initiated started. So you'll see at that time, most of the brands used to tell you only the brand name and the product. Ashirwad Atta, that is it. But now, as we are moving ahead, as the consumption is increasing, as we are buying from brands, all the products we are buying from brands, even the vegetables, right? Now, nobody buys aloo, potato. They want to buy organic potato, although it is very much similar. You must know if you have any familiar background. Now, in today's day and age, the thing is, the third reason is the most important thing, because there can be tons of brand. Initially, there were only one or two brand. When it comes to milk, Amul ka milk, cow milk, that is it. Again, who is selling? Amul is selling. What are they selling? Cow milk. But now you see, Amul has a particular range where they tell you how much protein the product has, because now consumer is becoming more aware. They are reading the information rather than relying on the brand. They want to buy Amul ka milk, cow milk that has 15-gram protein. So now 15-gram protein becomes your why. Most of the brands, new age brands, will give you very strong why. For an example, let me take this product. Again, very interesting packaging of a soap. इसमें flip दिख रहा होगा maybe. So this is the brand name. This
Uh,
is the product.
Tushar, you might want to stop screen sharing. You're on Spotlight, so the screen share is, yeah, now it's visible.
Is it better now?
Yeah.
Yes, I can also mirror it. Let me see if I can. Yes. Can you now read the information clearly?
Yup.
So this is the brand name. This is the product, Kozik soap. Now this is the why. I am encounter specialist. Pigmentation is my target. So they have been very creative about how to put helps you target the pigmentation, right? So they have given you clear why. At the bottom, they've also mentioned certain features. Infused with kojic acid and turmeric oil, so suitable for all types. Do you remember initially all those TV ads, Santoor soap, right? Just it is Santoor soap. Nothing regarded what it helps you with or anything else. So now you see, if you are really want to be a good packaging designer, you have to follow this rule. So any good packaging, as per today, as per the modern buyer's requirement, it has to do three things: who, what, and why. You might, and you must have been eating protein bars. Just say yes or no if you have been eating protein bars. Yes or no?
Yup. Everyone is saying yes.
Yes. What's more important in a protein bar? Is it the brand or is it the quantity of protein? Just say brand or protein, quantity of protein, right?
Okay.
So now you see, brand does not matter to you.
Yeah.
That is how the modern buyer thinks about any product. It is not just brand, it has to be the why. ठीक है, उन्होंने बोला कि we are yoga bar, we have almond protein bar, but if they do not put the quantity of protein, their sale will just drop, right? Abhi yahan pe we are not thinking about what kind of design can we use, what kind of fundamental can we use. It is the basic needs. So this becomes the boundary for any brand, even if you are designing for someone. Although we are talking about packaging today, but in every respective field, there are certain rules that you have to follow. So your communication is not a shot in the dark. It is going to the targeted audience. What you wanted to communicate is being communicated. All right, make a choice for them. Again, we will understand which product is suitable for which person. So you can say girl, guy, uncle, protein cookie, normal cookie, choco cookie, or you can say the brand name as well. So just you have to pair. All of you have to pair which product is suitable for which person. For the kid, which product is suitable? You can say the brand name. Is it Max Protein Good Day Oreo? For the guy, which product is suitable? Max Protein Good Day Oreo. For uncle, which product is suitable? Max Protein Good Day or Oreo. I'll just look in the chat. Kid, Oreo, Oreo kid. All right, keep going. I'll just share my screen again so you can clearly see and answer.
Max guy.
Now, you have not gone through all the information that is being communicated on the product. You know the product. That is one thing, because you are biased. I should have put uh, brands that you are not familiar with, but leave it. Again, based on certain packaging type, what it looks like, you pick the product for particular person. While if I ask you, can uncle not eat the Oreo cookie? Yes or no? Obviously, he can eat. A lot of uncle eat Oreo cookie. Yeah. Don't be biased. They can also have fun, right? So, do you think uncle can eat Oreo or not? Just say yes or no.
Yes.
Depends on health.
I'm saying depends
If,
on.
if he's eating good day, then he can also eat Oreo or not. I mean, Oreo is also not healthy. Yes, obviously. But what is the first impression that you had? So, in packaging, your first impression matters a lot. For example, when I asked you to pick a spicy product, you looked at the red color. When I asked you to pick a product for the guy, you picked Protein Max. Okay, it can be his cheating day. He wants to eat an Oreo, but it's not a common behavior. So that is where, what's the first impression of your product? Who is it for matters the most. पहले क्या होता था, if there's a bread, anybody can eat the bread, right? घर पे bread आया, everybody is eating from the same brand, Britannia bread. But now you'll see, your parents your parents still might be eating Britannia bread, but you want to go for a healthier bread that has certain protein, or maybe something that is zero maida, right? So for different consumer, you need different products. That is where the very important thing about a packaging design is to understand your consumer. Who is the customer? किसको खरीदना है? And what do they want? Right? Again, this becomes your boundary. You cannot avoid it. You cannot skip it. Right? You have to understand who is it for? Who is buying the product? What are they looking for? What others are doing? So first, let's say you want to sell a protein bar for me or people like me. You have to understand, what is it that I prioritize. Do I prioritize zero palm oil? Do I prioritize zero maida? Do I prioritize protein? What is it? So before even we design anything, let's say, now let's move it from the packaging to something else. Let's say we have to design a poster for End Academy, right? And in this poster, we are telling that it is a workshop for people who are not into design, right? So, whatever poster design that you come up with, it has to clearly tell that it is for non designers. So, what you can do is, you can use a visual where somebody who looks like a normal person, maybe let's say an auto driver, he can also learn design, right? So what you'll do is, you'll put an auto driver or maybe some student from school, and then what else can we pick? Let's stick to these two examples. An auto driver and a school kid are sitting together, and there's a billboard. Within the poster, there's a billboard saying learn graphic design. So what is it communicating? Without reading anything, without making it very specific, the impression would be that anybody can learn design because auto driver is sitting there, the student is sitting there. That means anybody can learn the design, right? Similarly, you have to understand what this packaging has to communicate primarily. For example, when we looked at the chips band, it was all about the spicy flavors, right? The amount of masala that the product has. I want to eat spicy, then it has to look spicy. Then only I will buy it. So before even we design, if you really want to become a packaging designer, you have to understand more about how people buy and who is it I'm designing for. If you can get this right, you will leave behind 50% of the designers because they are not thinking about it. They are just thinking about what color can I use, what Pinterest reference can I use, uh, what what AI generated image can I use. You can use all of that. These are just elements, but what has to be communicated, that becomes the priority. All right, I'll share the deck again.
Tushar, just a
Yeah,
sec. We are almost at 8, so we might want to like quickly
it
wind
will
up.
take 5 minutes, five to
Uh,
10 minutes for me to wrap it up. Yeah,
uh, till then, you can all start dropping your questions in the Q&A box, and we'll pick this up right after the presentation. Thank you.
perfect. So now I will quickly walk you through a four-step process. Now, people who are not into design, this might not be very relevant, but who are in design, they have been working in any field of design, and if they want to switch to packaging design, this is a simple process that you can adopt. At the end of this session, I'll share this deck, and I'll make sure that this deck is being shared to all of you with WhatsApp group or anything, right? Management will do that. So here's a quick process how you should approach packaging design. There are four steps to a packaging design. First is the brand discovery. Who is it that you are designing for? Understanding more about the brand. Second thing, what we just discussed, understand about the consumer and the market, right? Who is it that we are building this product for? What do they want? Third is the packaging design itself. What kind of packaging can I come up with? So this is the stage where you can be creative, right? What kind of packaging can I do? So what you had dropped, the volcano, the angry bird idea, all of that comes under the concept. You can be creative in the third and fourth phase, but this is something that is more like understanding what's required. This is more like a brief, and this is where you can be creative. Now, how we do packaging design at Orange Tribe, let me give you a glimpse to that as well. Again, we will share a questionnaire with the client, ask certain questions, discuss it with the client, understand the product. What is it something that you are doing? What is it something that you want to promote? All of it. Now, again, I will not go into details because we have to quickly wrap it around. And obviously, it won't be very relevant to all of you. Again, consumer research, for example, you have a brief to design a cookie for the Gen Z, right? Or the Gen Alpha, right? What you can do is understand more about the consumer, how they behave, what they want, and how other brands are doing the same thing. So you understand the market, you understand the consumer, and then you come up with your solution. This is how we do the analysis and all. Again, it might not be very relevant to all, but again, packaging concepts, it's more like a mood board. I believe all of you might be very familiar with mood boards, right? What you can include in a packaging concept, what kind of colors you want to use, the typography that you want to use, patterns, imagery, messaging. Again, let's say if we have this volcano wala packaging, if we have to create that volcano wala packaging, The packaging, the typography can also be very fluid, right? Like it is melting down. So it connects with the volcano concept. The colors can be very intense. It can be the red intense color, or it can be the colors of the volcano, black maybe paired with red. So that is how you can think of colors, imagery, patterns, and everything, and then you can actually start working on the design. How you can start working on the packaging design, whether it is packaging or in general, even if you're starting, I would highly recommend it that you start with paper and pencil. Don't jump to Photoshop, Illustrator, Figma, or anything. Just start with pen and paper, draw the layout, understand the requirement, what you have to communicate, and then try to convert it. Don't just go to Pinterest, right? Because then you will be coming up with repetitive ideas. What's already being done, usme tum kya karoge? You will change a color, you will change a shape. Again, not very creative. But if you draw it on a paper with a pencil, I think you can always come up with so many cool and unique ideas, and that should be the approach. This is the packaging that we have developed after doing the sketching and everything. Again, now this is very important. If you really want, if you are a graphic designer already and you want to switch to packaging design, this is one book that I would recommend that can help you more than any course on packaging design specifically. It's called Package Design Workbook. You can take a screenshot, and or you can just ask for the name after the call has ended. I'll drop the name. Package Design Workbook. I always have it with me. Every team member, everybody who start working with us, always have will give this book as a gift. So when they're working with us, working as a part of Orange Tribe, they can always understand better. They can go deeper and understand more about packaging design. So now we will open it to everyone. We'll quickly answer all the questions, whatever you have, one by one. So you can drop your questions in the chat regarding packaging design, regarding anything that is related to design or what you want to do. All right. First question, in packaging, why part Ayurvedic shampoo made with pure ghee, cow ghee, aloe vera? This can, I'm a bit confused. What is the question here?
I think
How
he
AI?
was referring to the kind of images that you were showing in the presentation. But the first question, I think,
Yes,
uh,
how AI will
like you,
impact?
Raj, how AI will impact. I'm asking this question because I saw one bakery brand near me and they designed their packages using AI by themselves and printed it did the job. So
Yes, it will always do the job. But again, AI can generate elements. It cannot have a unique perspective. As of now, as far as we are concerned, you see, we are humans. We make mistakes. But that is also a part of the process, making mistakes. AI will always take reference from somewhere and replicate it, right? It will generate the elements, but it cannot generate unique perspective that you can have as an individual. What I can come up with, nobody else can create it. You know why? Because it's my idea. Still, how it will impact? Actually, AI is very helpful. At Orange Tribe, we also use AI to generate certain illustration for the initial phase, because let's say we have to create an illustration for a packaging design. We cannot create 10 types of illustration and that then get a approval from client. What we'll do is generate a rough draft of 10 type of illustration, get it approved by the client, and then start it from scratch and do the illustration. It saves our time. Similarly, you can leverage the AI. AI is not against you, it is a tool, right? For example, you might have started in the recent years. Initially, in Photoshop, you have to particularly select every particular pixel to create a cutout, to make a PNG cutout, right? Now you can just select subject, and it will select you. So it's not harming you, it is helping you. So I would suggest learn more about AI, learn more about image generation. You can generate mockups, you can generate templates or anything. Then use it, but don't rely on it. It is always 20-30% of your job. Rest 70% is your perspective towards it. You have to bring that. How to
Shivani,
learn?
yeah. Should I
Yes.
just like read the questions out loud so you can directly answer them?
Yeah, you can.
Okay. So Shivani Khurana is asking, how do you decide if images or illustrations, which one is the best to choose for packaging? What parameters help you decide that?
All right. That also is being decided uh, from the perspective of consumer. What will help them? For example, if we have to sell the chips to the masses, right? What is the ideal approach? To use the imagery, because it always works. Because if you use illustration, it might look creative, but it might not do the job, right? Because at a in crowded areas, let's say railway stations, markets, roads, people just want to have the chips. They are not very thoughtful. But let's say you are building a brand, you are working with a brand that emphasizes more on the storytelling. So now you can use illustration to tell a story that imagery might not justify, right? Recently, packaging where I used the illustration of instead of imagery. The brand was using a window where you can see the product, and they had also placed the imagery on top of it. There was no need of imagery. So instead of imagery, we used illustration. The illustration, it looks premium, it looks better, and at the same time, it looks creative. Can you guys hear me? I think the internet is acting again.
It was breaking in bit in the middle, but I think it's fine now.
All right, we can go to the
Yeah.
next question.
So someone is asking who, what, and why. Example, if it is an Ayurvedic shampoo brand, we can include made with hero ingredient and hero ingredient. Second, like how Lay's is using made with pure potatoes. I think he's talking about the uh, who, what, and why part.
Hmm. These are things who, what, and why should be described by the client, because if we will describe it, we might come with an assumption. Our job is to make the communication happen, not create the communication. So ask the client if they do really have a why, right? If I'm creating a product, then it is my job to create a differentiated product, not designer's job to create a USP, because they can design, they cannot create the product and differentiation. Now our job is to understand how much to highlight the differentiation, how much to highlight the product. If it is an ice cream brand, what is the first thing that you should be highlighting? If it is a regular ice cream, what will be the experience? You see this packaging, Hoko ka amchi. The illustration of mango is being used here because the product looks very much similar to it. Retro vibes and everything looks appealing. Again, their why is not being listed at the front because they do not have any. It is a regular ice cream, right? But what is their why? That this product exactly looks like a mango, and that is why you should eat it. So again, you have to understand the boundaries, what is to be communicated, and how you can do it creatively. That's your job, to make the communication happen, not create the communication. That is client's job. All right, we can move ahead.
So someone is asking
Maybe- Yes.
how to know if the design I made will satisfy the customer or will it do the work. So how do I get to know the impact of my design?
See, this is where you need speech most
Tushar,
in.
your voice is
But
breaking.
if you're just starting out, what you can do is create a packaging. Let me just. Is it better now?
Yeah,
Hello.
yeah, kind of better.
All right. What was the question? Can you repeat it? Yeah. How
Oh,
to know if the packaging is impactful or not? Actually, you need tons of experience to decide it. But if you are somebody who is just starting with the packaging design, what you can do is you can create a package and ask your non-designer friends a specific question. Let's say if the objective of your packaging design was to make it look healthy or healthier, you should ask your friends, does this packaging looks healthier compared to this packaging? This packaging means you can have a competitor's packaging. Let's say Lay's ka chips is not healthy, right? But it is tasty. Now you can ask your friend which one looks tasty but also healthier. So you have created a tasty and healthier packaging, right? They can always say this one or this one. That is the very basic method to validate your idea. But again, as you start working within the industry, you will start understanding whether your packaging is going to work or not based on how you tackle certain problem. So that is something that will evolve with time and experience. I hope that answers the question.
um, all right. Moving on to the next one. How packaging is connected to interior designing.
I really don't think it is connected to interior designing. I
Uh,
mean, design is the fundamental is common. How you want to design interior, you can be also packaging designer, but it
I
doesn't
think
have to be.
creativity sits at the core of design overall.
The fundamentals of design are very much similar, whether it is interior, fashion, or graphic design in general. But packaging design do not have anything to connect with interior. Packaging is for people, interior is for yourself or
Yeah.
someone, right? That is a personal versus mass.
Mm.
So yeah,
So Kanishka is asking, what are your thoughts on brands getting away with minimalistic packaging design, especially skincare?
getting away. See, if writing nothing on the product help you sell more, then write nothing. Don't do anything. Have you guys heard of Muji? It is a
Yeah.
brand that
Mm.
does not put its logo on the product. Now everybody is very fascinated how they are able to sell without a logo. Now that's their creative approach towards branding, not design but branding. How they've branded their product is very unique, right? So first thing is, if you want to design a product that should look very serious, you cannot put a lot of illustrations or elements into it because it will not look serious. You must have seen all these medical products that we get in a medical store. They do not have a lot of imagery or creative illustration because their job is to look serious and trustworthy. That is their first job. Now at the same time, you have to design uh, a packaging, a takeaway box for a Punjabi restaurant. It will obviously have certain elements, it will have colors, all of that. So again, being minimalistic, being maximalistic is not a question that you should answer from a designer perspective. It is more of a question how to represent the brand or the product. We have done two packaging. One of them is very minimalistic. Let me show you. And one is so. Can you see this packaging? This is a dummy, so it is that is why it will not look good. There's logo, there's product name, there's information, and nothing.
Yeah.
Because the founder was a doctor herself and she wanted to simplify skincare. This is a packaging that we designed for an Ayurvedic brand. Now, Ayurvedic has to look rich of legacy, history, culture that should reflect. Then only people believe it is Ayurvedic. So that is where it's more of the representation of the brand rather than kind of packaging that you want to pick as a designer. All right.
And I think a lot of it also depends on kind of the kind of brand you are looking at. So Ordinary as a skincare brand and Kama Ayurveda as a skincare brand are both so different. So one has a very minimalistic vibe, the other one has a really indie desi vibe. So it again depends on how you are taking that context as a designer.
Yes. See, again, Kama, this brand, the Kama Ayurveda is a competitor of this brand.
Yeah.
That is why it falls in that league only.
Yeah.
This brand is minimalist is a competitor for this brand as well. That is why it falls in a certain segment. So now
Hmm.
you see, because consumer do not want to look at the design, they look at the product and then they decide. So that is how you should approach. Again, you have to understand what are your boundaries. Whether can you put a lot of illustration in your product or not, and why you have to put illustration in the first place. That you have to also understand. Am I audible? There is again internet issues.
Yep, you are, I think, yeah.
All right. How do you
There's one
convince?
question.
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
just read it. Hero or heroines are not important. Important thing is Amola Sikakai or Ayurvedic. See, they are just a trust builder. If Saruk Khan has your product, a lot of people will trust Saruk Khan rather than the product. Or Katrina Kaif or Priyanka Chopra has a particular product, right? So that is a marketing thing rather than design, packaging design. Has nothing to do with it. A lot of brands use celebrity faces in their packaging as well. Again, to establish the trust factor. To establish this brand is not a new brand, not new, but this brand is not a fraud. You can always try this product because Salman Khan is on the product itself. That is why trust. How do you convince clients to trust a minimal design when they feel they are paying a premium price for it? See, again, the outcome is not relevant with the pricing. If I'm doing illustration, that does not mean I can charge very fancy amount compared to if I'm doing a minimal design. For a client, they need a packaging that can help them sell the product. That is it, right? That should be the ideal scenario. Again, you can charge little extra if you are doing very specific illustration that might need a specific illustrator to help you with. That is something else. But if you are doing minimal packaging design, that does not mean you are doing any less of the work. Again, you should deliver a solution. A solution is never cheap. Design can be cheap, right? So focus on the solution, approach the client with who, what, and why philosophy. You have to understand packaging design more than the design, how it works with the consumer. Once you start doing it, client will not ask you whether you are going to come up with a minimal packaging design or a very cluttered packaging design. That becomes a question of approach. I
Uh,
hope that answers the question.
all right. So we'll just end with this question that we ask everyone. So if you could redesign anything in the world, what would it be? It could be as small as a safety pin or as huge as a Delhi metro system. So, and why?
This is a question for everyone, right?
It's for you.
Can
We
you can
ask
you
everyone, and a
can you,
cat
can
we
you
ask.
repeat, can you repeat the question?
If you could redesign anything in the world, what would you redesign? It could be as small as a safety pin or as huge as a Delhi metro system. And why?
If I could redesign, I mean, there's a list of things, but I think for me, it would be Indian, a lot of city branding that has been done. For instance, I would redesign Udaipur's branding because it is very literal, it is very obvious, and it does not represent the city as it is. I'll quickly take your minute and I'll show you why. I have been to Udaipur and the logo was something that I hate. Can you guys see my screen?
Yep, we can.
You see what they have done with the logo? There's Udaipur written in very basic font that we have been seeing for last I don't know how many years. There's a Wi-Fi signal. Obviously, they want to showcase Udaipur as a smart and cultural city, but that's very poor logo. I mean, you can find it these elements on in Free Peak and just arrange them.
Hmm.
Smart city Udaipur. I mean,
I think
I
I
hate
would
it.
hate because I'm from Udaipur and Udaipur is actually known for its lakes. So I
It's late, it's
hate
culture. There's so much more, but what they have done is just, for example, you have seen the logo of Digital India. They have put a Wi-Fi sign. Everything that is digital, that does not mean to have a Wi-Fi signature, Wi-Fi icon into it. So I hate this logo. If I do get an opportunity, I would redesign this. Anybody who is working on branding project, passion projects, redesign Udaipur's branding. And I think you will get a lot of attention if you do really good work. So that's one thing that you can work on. So yeah, that's one thing I will pick to redesign.
All right. Thank you so much, Tushar. It was such an amazing, super insightful session. And I think I'm pretty sure that half of us are going to walk with s- with a mindset, with a audit mindset into the store next week and probably this week, auditing all the packaging design that we have on the shelves. And thank you everyone who joined today. It was really great having you and for being active in the chat, asking so thoughtful questions, and showing up for your own growth. We'll be sharing updates with you for our next Kaleidoscope session soon. And have a lovely evening, by the way, everyone. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Bye bye.
Bye.